This episode is brought to you by AWS. Amazon Q Business is the generative AI assistant that can securely understand your business data, summarize results, and streamline tasks. Learn what Amazon Q Business can do for you at aws.com/learn more.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in places that could expose you to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, their US-based restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit lifelock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
This is Optimal Living Daily, Place as a Life Hack by Ryan Frederick of Here.life, and I'm Justin Malik, your very own personal narrator. Hello, old friend, and that's not me calling you old. Old stands for Optimal Living Daily, and this is where I read articles to you, the best I can find and get permission from, so that you can have a little dose of positivity, inspiration, motivation, or happiness each and every day. So with that, let's get right to another post and start optimizing your life. Place as a Life Hack by Ryan Frederick of Here.life. Over the last decade or so, there have been a slew of books that incorporate behavioral science, psychology, economics, and other disciplines to better understand how we think and how we can construct our lives toward better outcomes. Examples of best-selling books include Nudge, Thinking Fast and Slow, The Power of Habit, and Tiny Habits. With over 3 million books sold, Atomic Habits may be the most influential of the lot. These books provide advice on how to create interventions to make life better. This is referred to as life hacks in popular culture. Wikipedia describes a life hack as any trick, shortcut, skill, or novelty method that increases productivity and efficiency in all walks of life. Finding the right life hacks for you can make a difference, particularly when played out over the long term. Power of compounding returns of habits. In the age of longevity, where living to 100 years will become more commonplace, we will need to become attuned to the power of compounding returns. Compounding returns are when a return from an investment of time or money is reinvested and benefits from the same return over a subsequent period. Over time, these returns are not linear, but exponential. Our minds are wired to think linearly, not exponentially, so we are often surprised by the result. Even Einstein was wowed by the concept of compound interest and was purported to have called it the eighth wonder of the world. Over a long period of time, even small differences can add up to make a big difference. In Atomic Habits, author James Clear illustrates the impact of small differences daily. He highlights the impact of a 1% improvement each day, a measure unnoticeable to most people. Such an improvement over the course of the year, however, is clear to see. It results in a nearly 38 times better outcome. Conversely, a worse outcome on a daily basis leads to a decline nearly to zero. Clear sums it up as, quote, "What starts as a small win or a minor setback accumulates into something much more," end quote. Place as a life hack. One of the effective strategies for successful life hacks is to make the right decision easy to the point that it becomes a habit and repeated on a regular basis. This is where place, where we choose to call home, can have a particularly powerful impact. If we choose and design our places carefully, we can be nudged towards behaviors that help expand our lifespan, health span, and wealth span. Keep in mind that longevity is only about 30% linked to our genetics. Our lifespan is much more a function of lifestyle decisions and our environment. Step 1 is to make sure that we think broadly enough about place. Place has a significant impact on our health and well-being. In its broad definition, place encompasses region, state, metropolitan area, neighborhood, and physical dwelling. Place has both direct and indirect impacts on a person's life. The best place elevates the elements of well-being, including purpose, social connection, physical well-being, and financial well-being. The following are examples of how place can serve as an effective life hack. Number 1, greater social connection. Loneliness has been found to be as harmful as smoking 15 cigarettes a day and can increase the risk of premature death by as much as 30%. Where we choose to live can invariably have an impact on social connections. Some neighborhoods are more socially connected than others. Some areas, through annual gatherings such as 4th of July parades, Halloween festivities, and park workdays, bring people together, often across generations, in an organized way. Some neighborhoods are designed with front porches or greater housing density that allows for frequent informal interactions that help stave off loneliness. Number 2, greater physical well-being. Exercise has been shown to have an impact on our physical well-being in a plethora of ways, from strengthening muscles to improving heart conditions to sharpening minds. Again, place can be an effective life hack. Some regions of the country are more active than others. According to the CDC, Western states lead the way in active lifestyles, with every Western state having at least 20% of its population meet its guidelines for physical activity. In contrast, the Southeast and Midwest are the least active, with most of their states below the 20% threshold and some below the 15% level. One place to start is to live in a region where being fit is the norm. It's easy to overlook the impact of the health habits of those around us and their impact on us. One study found that a person's chance of becoming obese increased by 57% if a close friend is obese. We're also more likely to be obese if our friends' friends are obese. And number 3, greater financial well-being. Living a long life can be particularly hard to plan for from a financial perspective. Studies indicate that people know they should start early and save about 25% of their income annually, but in practice, they often don't start saving until later in life, losing out on the full impact of compounding investment returns. But place can have a key role in having financial health for the long term. One factor to consider, especially for older adults open to downsizing, is renting versus owning a home. While home appreciation was considerable during the pandemic, typically the annual investment return of owning your home is significantly less than in the stock market at large. This opportunity cost of investing in higher return investment vehicles can be very significant, compounded over a number of years. Start with place. It may be that the biggest life hack is hidden in plain sight. It's your home. Keep in mind that the life hack of place doesn't necessarily mean a move is required. There are small things you can do with your place to improve your life. Significant changes can include remodeling your home to better fit your current or future needs. Other changes are smaller and less costly, such as joining a neighborhood walking group. My wife claims jazzercise is making a comeback. Rearranging furniture to create a newness to your space, or finding ways to cut down on some of your regular home maintenance costs. Place can be foundational to a life improvement plan at any age. You just listened to the post titled Place as a Life Hack by Ryan Frederick of Here.life, and I'll be right back with my commentary. Look, I'm sure there's someone in all our circles who had to dip into their emergency savings just to cover their holiday shopping. It's like a post-holiday hangover. But that's where Chime's innovative banking features come in. Imagine no monthly fees eating away at your balance, fee-free overdraft coverage up to $200, and even getting your paycheck up to 2 days early with direct deposit. It's like having a financial safety net during the season of giving. And members can even send each other boosts to temporarily increase spot me limits. It's like having friends in your financial corner. Enjoy the holidays while keeping your financial goals on track with Chime. Open your account in 2 minutes at chime.com/old. That's chime.com/OLD. Chime feels like progress. Banking services and debit card provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A., members FDIC. Spot me eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Direct deposit timing depends on submission of payment file. Boosts are available to eligible Chime members enrolled in SpotMe and are subject to monthly limits. Fees apply at out-of-network ATMs and for OTC withdrawals.
¿Hablas español?
Sprichst du Deutsch?
If you've heard that sound from Babbel before, I bet you do. Babbel is the science-backed language learning app that actually works. With quick 10-minute lessons handcrafted by over 200 language experts, Babbel gets you on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. With over 16 million subscriptions sold and a 20-day money-back guarantee, just start speaking another language with Babbel. Right now, up to 55% off your Babbel subscription at babbel.com/Spotify podcast. Spelled BABBEL.com/Spotify podcast. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Thank you to Ryan. This really resonates with me because I've moved quite a bit in my life, especially in my 20s and 30s. And I've definitely seen firsthand how where we live impacts pretty much everything about our lives. Something we don't always think about, but like he said, it's kind of hiding in plain sight. When I traveled to Asia, I got to visit one of the blue zones, an area of the world where people tend to live the longest. I visited the newest blue zone added to the list, Singapore. Over there, it's less common to own a car. They actually place a large tax on cars, so people are discouraged to own them. And instead, they'll use subways, which work really well and are really clean compared to others I've seen. But getting to the subway requires a decent amount of walking, so you're always moving around. So in general, you see fewer people who are overweight, which helps the lifespan then. Environment really does play a massive role, and it's truly a choice that we can make. So something to think about today. Thank you for being here every day and thinking about these things along with me. It means a lot. Wishing you a happy rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.